How strong is Possessed Punch? Now, Burning World has a dozen powerful fighters across the series. The Guardian, a being made of two universes crashed into each other. Super Jackson, a fighter who forced Guardian and 404 to fuse to defeat him. And Everything Son, the brute who could practically tear people's faces off with his teeth. But there is a being who was born for fighting. Someone who makes the king question his own crown. Someone who, if he really wanted to, could kill you in a single punch. How strong is, well, Possessed Punch? Punch makes his debut in episode 10 part 1, when Kevin TNX puts the best fighters in a tournament where the winner gets an exclusive form. Punch is put into the first match against Epic Jackson. Punch begins on the back foot, taking a blast from Epic Jackson which destroys a couple Superverses. Superverses are things that hold 10,000 Galatron verses, which each holds 1,000 Atom verses, which each holds 100 Multiverses inside each, making this blast already an out-of-versal feat. Punch is then forced to transform into his last resort form, which destroys 9 Omegaverses, with an Omegaverse each holding 100,000 Superverses. Something then takes control of Punch's body, making D transform out of Last Resort and turning him into Possessed Punch, who bodies Rebirth Jackson before Everything Son comes in to save him. Punch and his minion then team up against Everything Son, where Everything Son is able to knock out the minion and turn it into a 1v1, where Punch and Everything Son are shown to be pretty even in terms of power. Punch is then kicked into a portal where the Guardian tries to surprise attack him, but Punch tanks the attack. And by the way, the Guardian is equal to Epic Jackson in terms of power, being all like, the out-of-versal feats and whatnot. Punch then targets 404, a fire equal to the Guardian, where he knocks her out after she refused to tell the king to face him. Everything Son then returns for round 2, where Punch is shown to be on par with him. Everything Son then knocks Punch far back before Punch decides to go after the Guardian and 404 again, who manages to escape him. Everything Son does give chase however, putting the two back in battle. 404 learns the fusion with Guardian 404, then steps in to help Everything Son, turning it into a 2v1. Punch then attempts to use the technique to kill Everything Son in one punch but misses. Epic Jackson then also joins the battle while 404 gets the help of the Protector. Protector agrees and him and Everything Son double team against Punch, eventually managing to overwhelm him. Punch then rips out Everything Son's eye while Protector rips Punch's arm off. Troubling Guardian then joins the fight as he believes Protector isn't strong enough to take him, where Punch reveals his eyes can see what abilities a person has and what it does, so he can copy them if he touches the person for 2 seconds. The ruler then stops time, but Punch is strong enough to still be able to move, where he flies up and summons 6 people who are all around equal in power to the king, who is much stronger than Epic Jackson, Guardian, 404, etc. 2 of the minions then decide to team up against the king, while Epic Jackson and the Guardian team up against Punch, where Epic Jackson is able to cut his eyes, blinding Punch in the process. The 2 minions meanwhile overwhelm the king, before another minion named Binary heals Punch and makes him regain his sight. Punch then goes to fight B Obtainer, someone at least stronger than the Guardian, and toys with her in battle, ripping her in half before it is revealed that B Obtainer was a decoy made by the real one. Punch then calls out Everything Son, who re-enters the fight as he is somehow still alive, and unfortunately there isn't anything else more after that for now, as Kevin TNX has not released anything past episode 10 finale part 1. Overall, Punch would scale layers into Outerversal due to him having feats of destroying Omegaverses and being stronger than characters like Super Jackson, who are already into Outerversal tier, and his speed would be infinite as he was able to move while the ruler had stopped time. But yeah, that about does it. Subscribe.